smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out.
What is going on, guys? Well, been talking a lot about this one, guys, so I finally decided I'd go ahead and make one last video. As you guys can tell, this is not Brave Frontier. This is actually the game that I started my YouTube channel with, called Defender of Texel, aka D.O.T for short. So had a lot of my older subscribers come back and informing me that there's something here in the news. So let's see if I can. Here we go, info. And we have here closure announcement. So basically what this is saying, guys, is that Defender of Texel is going to be shut down as of June 30th, 2015. The game will become unavailable on the App Store and Google Play. They haven't updated the game, and I honestly don't know how long. So the game has pretty much been dead. There's some top players that I know that are still pretty much playing, at least up until the last event. They know they're shutting down this game, so they're trying to invite you to play some of their other games: Blood Brothers, Shield, Marvel War Heroes, blah blah. But I just wanted to make one last video, guys, because I do have to give this game a shout out. It was the game that pretty much tipped off my YouTube channel. This was the game that I used to play passionately way back in the day. I used to have a great passion for this game. I used to play it all the time, and it honestly consumed a lot of my time, guys, like to the point to where it kind of got a bit dangerous, which is part of the reason why I had to stop. I used to play this game like faithfully, guys, like daily for hours, at work, at home. I would wake up out of my sleep, play some more. Like, I used to play this game heavily, and for good reason, guys. Back in the day, this game was very good. All right. The whole point was to compete in events. All right, you would compete in an event, and you would try to rank really high. So as you guys can see, I haven't played in a very long time. What was the last event I even competed in? September of 2014. Pay the Ferryman was the last event I actually took part in, so to speak, where I was still playing the game. That was the last time I played, guys. The last gold crown I got, a Waking Dream, right here. No. What's that gold crown? Gold crown. Gold crown is top 50, isn't it? I can't even remember anymore. There we go. So rank 11, Body Electric. That was probably my last gold crown. Getting a gold crown in this game is not easy, guys. It's a very time consuming process, because back when I was competing, the events were a week long, and basically that entire week you had to be focused on this game, Defender of Texel. Alright, so when I competed, I've usually competed in what's called siege events. Those were my favorite. I did get a gold crown, and I believe it was a mob raid event. And one in PvP, I believe. So I think I got like one of each, something along those lines. That's my 3 gold crowns. But the game was very fun, guys. What killed it for me, and pretty much why I personally stopped playing, was because I just didn't have time for the game anymore, guys. My life got very busy. I could not keep up with competing, and that's the fun part about this game to me. You build up a really good squad, and you take that squad into battle, and you just wreck with them, guys. You use your nux bits, and you just dominate. All right. And so, you know, I built up a pretty solid squad. At least it was back in the day. My squad ain't crap now with all the 4 for 4 legendaries out and all that. But back in my heyday, I had a very powerful squad. All right, and they did work. I took them to the top gold crowns a few times. So that was the funnest thing about this game, was actually trying to push for the gold crown. That was my joy in Defender of Texel. Everything else outside of competing for the gold crown was working to get up to another gold crown. So that was the joy for me. But when I didn't have the time anymore, guys, I had to call it quits and say goodbye. My life just became way too busy, and I just couldn't compete anymore. So that's what killed it for me. What killed it for other players was the 4-for-4 legendaries. When the 3-for-3 legendaries came out, which the first one that was ever released, it was actually 2, I guess you can call them units. I don't even know what they called anymore. It was 2 units, I'm gonna call them. One is right here in the middle, and he's actually my favorite unit still down to this day. He is known as the almighty D.O.T. This was one of 2 legendaries, guys, that released the start of 3-for-3 legendaries. And this event was crazy, guys. Like, if you weren't one of the top players back then, you didn't have this guy. All right, so he was the man. I finally was able to 3-for-3 him a little bit after his event was over. He was my main focus, and I actually spent a lot of real life money to get this guy, which is kind of gonna suck now that the game's shutting down, but it don't really matter. I stopped playing anyway. But yeah, I spent a lot of real life money to get this guy. I did my paid bill videos back in the day. I think I took D.O.T. all the way up to the 9th step, which is roughly like $170. So yeah, I went kind of cuckoo on this game with my money. But he was so worth it. Well, not really, kinda, I guess, because I like him so much. He's still my favorite, and even with all these 4-for-4 legendaries out now, he's still my favorite. But like I said earlier, guys, the joy, the push for the gold crown, that was the fun for me in this game. But when I ran out of time, had to call it quits. I just couldn't afford to, you know, play at work, play at home, this and that. I couldn't do it anymore. So that's what killed it for me. Others, they gave up because the 4-for-4 legendaries, they just felt that DNA were becoming way too greedy at this point, introducing 4-for-4 legendaries. So that's when others gave up. But I gave up before the 4-for-4 legendaries were even introduced, because I just didn't have the time to keep up with the game anymore, was what it boiled down to. So very good game. I still got to give it a shout out. Like I said, this game is what started my YouTube channel and made it what it is today. So definitely got to give a big shout out to it. But D.O.T. is probably what I'm going to miss more about this game than anything. Very beautiful design, very powerful unit. I still love him to this day, very strong. So I never made an official goodbye when I stopped playing DOT. So I guess you can count this as my way later on, like almost a year later on, official goodbye to Defender Texel. And the game itself was closing down on June 30th, guys. So I guess you can view this as mine and the game's goodbye video. So big thank you to the guys at DNA. Big thank you to the DOT staff and everyone else who enjoyed the game as much as I did back in its heyday. But unfortunately, it is now coming to a close. So just wanted to say one final goodbye to Defender Texel, guys. And this will definitely, undoubtedly be my last Defender of Texel video, guys. So big shout out to, I'm going to just give a couple shout out to the bigger players I know. Of course, my man Alex is a gun 8, the Bears fan 06, guy on my friends list, Moru Z, Super JGB, and many other players know some of the players in the community. The community of this game was kind of close knit. Everybody kind of knew everybody as far as big players. So another big shout out to Biocatastrophic. He was one that not many people like, but I mean, he kicked butt. The guy, he kicked butt in almost every event, so everyone knows him. All right, and anybody else that I missed that know me, big thanks to you guys as well. That's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Goodbye DOT players, and goodbye DOT. Later, guys.